Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Winnie, and in today's video I wanted to talk to y'all about some things to consider when negotiating for sponsorship in your job search application process. So I would say the first thing to consider is to make sure that you're doing your own research. I personally use sites such as myvisajobs.com. So like typically when a company, or when I reach out to a company, or I have applied and they agreed to give me an interview, I make sure that I'm doing as much research on their company to make sure I'm sure you do research on like the mission of the company, the vision, and you know what they're looking for you from you as a candidate. But the kind of research I'm talking about is to see like, have they sponsored before? So myvisajobs.com is a good site that helps you with that. So a lot of times it will tell you you know, if this company has sponsored before, how many people they've sponsored. It even goes in depth to tell you like how if they were rejected in the past year, or it gives you a breakdown a lot. So that has been extremely helpful for me personally. Secondly, as international students, like the job search process is already so tedious. So I think you need to try to utilize all the resources that you can garner. So for example, I think it's important to kind of reach out to your international office, or even the alumni office, alumni engagement, to see if they would be willing to connect you with alumni who might be in your field. So you never know, you might be able to connect with alumni, whether it's in tech or in marketing or in higher education, to be able to connect with these people. A lot of times they might have jobs, or they might know people, because I always say like life is about the connections that you build with people. So I think if you connect with your international office, or with your alumni engagement office, they might be able to connect you with other international students, or just students in, you know, domestic students as well, that have kind of been through your journey, and they might even have positions open in their company to take you. I think also make sure that you're utilizing LinkedIn to the best of your capacity. I feel like a lot of times in higher education, I don't know that LinkedIn is heavily utilized in that way to get a job, but I know in a lot of other fields like tech specifically, because my tech friends are always talking about just how important like LinkedIn is. So I think utilizing platforms such as those to make sure that you're reaching out to people and you're connecting, and you know, making sure that you're just utilizing this resource, I think is good for you. When considering sponsorship, it is important to note that the place matters. So I don't think you should be asking a company about sponsorship when they come to your school, whether it's at like when they're doing like career fairs. I don't think that's the right place to ask. Typically I would always start with human resources. So you know, if you're really interested in a position and you've done all your research, you've looked at myvisajobs.com and every other site that's on there, and you don't see anything, I would then now reach out to the HR, so the human resources office, to be like, hi, my name is Winnie and I am extremely interested in applying to that position, and as an international student I would need sponsorship for, you know, an H1b visa, and I was just saying if that is something that this position is able to do at this time, full stop. And then, you know, they're able to kind of get that response to you. But like I said, the place definitely matters, so make sure that you're not just asking that, probably not openly as well. You want a company to know that you're there for the right purpose, and it's not, sponsorship is not your main goal. A lot of times international students would ask me like, when should I ask them about sponsorship, like when during the application process. I always advise to not ask during your first interview. I always say to ask during your second or third interview, because I feel like then, like the first interview for me, it's kind of like a weed out. It's like they're trying to see who they want to proceed. I also would want to, I guess, preface by saying this also depends in what field you are. In higher education, it's typical that they have like a 3-round interview, so I would say don't ask during the first round. I would ask during the second round, just to say, you know, like I said before, hi, my name is Winnie, extremely interested in this position, and I would love the opportunity to work with you. But you know, I am an international student, and a lot of times I would even say, you know, I currently have OPT. I have OPT for 1 year, because typically non-STEM people only have OPT for 1 year. So I would say I have OPT for 1 year, so I wouldn't need sponsorship during my first year, but after that year I would need sponsorship. But yeah, so my advice would be to ask during your second or the third interview, but also I think it's tricky trying to find that balance, because you don't want to ask too early, but you also don't want to ask too late, because like I know the the mistake I made during my process was like a lot of times I would wait. Like if I really want a company and I didn't want them to say no to me, I would wait till the last minute. So like, let's say I think one day offered me like an on-campus interview, which is where you go to their campus and you know they get to know you more and stuff like that. So when they offered me that, I was like, okay, well, you know, I would need sponsorship, and they told me they couldn't sponsor. And see, with that I had wasted my time, I also wasted their time as well. So I think just trying to find a balance of, you know, when is the right time, when is the wrong time. It's super tricky, I know, but I'm sure y'all will figure it out. Lastly, I think it's very important that when you're seeking sponsorship, it's important to be aware of all the things that you bring to the table as an international student. I always talk about my intercultural skills. I always talk about also like the fact that I'm able to work alone, but I'm also like, I also enjoy working in a team as well. But yeah, so talk to them about all the strength that you whether that's communication, talk to them about all the strength that you possess, or even being adaptable as well. I think is like one of the strongest suit of a lot of international students. But also like your global like fluency, the fact that you're able to connect with people from different places. So making sure that you are selling yourself. I know for some of us it might be difficult to sell yourself and market yourself and put yourself out there, but you know, when you're trying to get a job in America, you have to sell yourself. You have to show them like, I have the skills, I'm able to do this job, but don't hire me just because I have the education, but I have like an additional layer. So you want to be, I don't know if it's my Nigerian mentality, but you want to be better than the best. You know, you want to market yourself and really get yourself out there. So I hope y'all found this video helpful. If you have any questions about, you know, navigating negotiating for sponsorship, please let me know. Please put that in the comment box below. Thank you all for watching this video, and see you next time.